Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Yankee Stadium.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Monday, September 2nd. Today is Labor Day. Hopefully you have the day off and you're watching this over some coffee, maybe some eggs, and a nice relaxing morning. The Yankees are in Texas tonight to take on the world champion Texas Rangers, who are 65-72. And I know that doesn't sound great, but it sounds like exactly the right formula to beat the Yankees because the Yanks have been playing down to their competition. And we're at a point in the season now, Labor Day, where every GM, every fan base looks at their team with less than a month to go, now 25 games to play, and you say, realistically, what are our chances? And I think the Yankees have a pretty good chance now to win the East. They're a half game up, but they have got to start playing better against teams that they should beat. You can't be losing to the White Sox by 10 runs. Can't be losing games to the Rockies at home. You can't be dropping back-to-back series to the Nationals and the Cardinals, which is exactly what happened. So the Yankees need to take a good, hard look introspectively and say, how can we be better? How can we get some more life into this team? And I think we all know the answer to that. Got to bring up the Martian. But we are going to get some more reinforcements. You know, Hamilton could be coming back soon. Rizzo coming back looked good. But, I still think we need a little bit more. And tonight, the Yankees, while they're taking on the Rangers, they're going to need to win. You know, they've got their ace on the hill, but the Orioles are playing the White Sox. And if you think Corbin Burnes is going to lay an egg against the White Sox, one of the worst teams ever, I got a bridge to sell you. I think that tonight feels like a must-win if you want to stay in first place. Otherwise, the Orioles going to jump back out in front. And once a team jumps out in front this late in the season, that can be kind of like an emotional boost for them. They could go on a run and leave the Yankees in the dust. So tonight, I view kind of as a must-win just to maintain this half-game lead. Gerrit Cole's been a little bit up and down. I want to see him put together a classic Gerrit Cole start. I'm looking for 6 2/3, 1 run, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts. That's what I'm looking for tonight from Gerrit Cole. And to be honest, the Rangers offense has not been good. They're averaging like 2.7 runs a game for the last quarter of a season or whatever. So this should be a game that Gerrit Cole can, kind of boost his numbers a little bit. We're going to have a pregame show, kind of. It's not really a pregame show. We're going to do Max Goodman's monthly stop-in State of the Yankees tonight, 6 p.m., so tune in for that. He's going to talk about the Martian. We're going to talk about the state of this team as we approach the final 25 games of the 2024 schedule and prepare for the playoffs. So we'll talk about all of that, but first let's get to your voicemails so that I can get back to my Labor Day activities. I'm going to see Alien Romulus again a second time. My wife and I were going to go to the lake today, but it's pouring rain, so just decided to go to the movies. Also, launching a football show this week. I'm not going to be the expert on this football show, but we're going to have my buddy Justin, who's a big-time football fan, and Frankie Baseball will be Frankie Football for this. He's going to be joining us too. It's called the New York Football Show. I'll be sending out links and all that stuff over the next couple of days, but we're going to debut that on Thursday. We're going to preview this weekend's action, so tune in for that. Let's get to your voicemails.
I live in New York City! I cannot believe you had the balls to do it!
Derek, Robert here. Oh, Jesus. You're so right about Dominguez. What the hell are they thinking? It's like, do you know how many friggin' players the Yankees have just let waste away in the friggin' minor leagues over the years? I can't even count them. It's like, unbelievable. Judge didn't show up until he was 25 friggin' years old. How the hell did they miss him? I mean, unbelievable. We have the oldest rookies in the history of baseball all the time. It's just a joke. They've always wanted to go with the mature, friggin' established players. I mean, mean? It's such bullshit. Anyway, what a pathetic series. It boggles the mind. How the hell do you lose 2 out of 3 of the Nationals and the Cardinals back to back?
Appreciate the call. I started with this voicemail because it's basically what I woke up thinking about as well. The Yankees always mishandle their young players. You know, it's interesting that they brought Volpe up and let him struggle all year because they don't really do that with anyone else. Now, Dominguez did so well last fall that if he didn't tear his UCL and then, have to miss the season or the first portion of the season, I think he would have been the Yankees' opening day left fielder. I don't think they would have gone out and traded for Alex Verdugo, but they had a spot open. Now, Verdugo is a veteran, and to a certain degree, you defer to the veteran, especially in a contract year, but he hasn't gotten it done. He's only hitting .230 or whatever, and Dominguez is crushing the minor league. So I think I agree with you, and I agree with most Yankees fans that the Yankees are not running their best possible roster out there. At some point, you have to say, screw your feelings. Let's go with the best player. I know it's not going to make Verdugo happy. I know that he's going to get a little grumpy if you start a rookie over him. Well, too bad. Play better if you don't want that to happen. Now, yesterday he did have a couple of hits. So, maybe not being allergic to his batting gloves anymore is, going to get him going a little bit in the right direction. But even so, Dominguez is still a better player. He's got more power. He's a switch hitter. Verdugo, probably a better left fielder at this point, although yesterday he didn't look it. He's got a good arm. It's accurate. He's got 20 outfield assists over the last few years, tied for the most in Major League Baseball. But I'd still rather see the kid out there. I think he would inject some life into the team. I think he would inject some life into the stadium. But now that you're going to Texas, and Dominguez is still in the minor leagues, we're not going to see Dominguez for the next several days at least. So the manipulation of his contract and service time continues. And it's frustrating as fans because, we're obviously watching for entertainment. We want to see the best players on the field. And right now the Yankees are not going in that direction.
It really bothers me that Juan Soto can't play right field. I can't see paying him. You just have so much room for the DHs. You got Stanton as a DH. Eventually Judge will be a DH. And this guy's really got to play defense. And you got to know where the wall is. You can't be afraid of it. If he wants to make the big bucks, it's ridiculous.
I disagree that Juan Soto can't play right field. If you look at the numbers, he is in the 62nd percentile in fielding run value. And if you skip down to the bottom of his StatCast numbers, you see that most of that comes from his arm. Like, he's been really good at making those throws from right field. He's very accurate. His arm strength is about league average, but his arm value is way above average, which tells you that the accuracy is there. Also, when he's throwing into second base, a lot of times it's Anthony Volpe who's on the back end of those throws, and he's excellent at making tags. So those two combined, I think, gives a lot of the value to Juan Soto. But if you look at his range, you're dead on correct there. He's in the 22nd percentile in outs above average, -3. So he's definitely had some issues with tracking balls down. It's not a big outfield, and you can see now why they didn't want him to play left field like he did in San Diego, because he just doesn't have the range out there. But what you're paying for with Juan Soto is the 1,000 OPS. He's got a 1.004 OPS even after a bad week, essentially. 610 plate appearances this year. He's got a career best 37 home runs and a .418 on base percentage, 144 hits. That's what you're paying for. And I think the Yankees are definitely going to make him an offer, but I can't see him getting the $750 million that some people are saying. I think $500 million is more than enough. And like you said, there will be conversations about his defense and base running in those contract negotiations. His defense overall, like we said, above average, but the range not good. And the base running value is in the 12th percentile. He's just not very fast. in the 35th percentile of the league. So it'd be interesting to see how all this shakes out, but you're paying for an elite offensive talent is what you'd be paying for. But, Ohtani in part got his $700 million because he's such a complete player. I mean, the guy's about to go 50-50, 50 home runs and 50 stolen bases. And then next year, he could win the Cy Young. He's that good of a pitcher. That's why I don't think Soto's going to get $700 million. He doesn't bring the endorsements from, Japan and so forth. But I can see $500 million because of his offense and because he's going to be a Hall of Fame hitter.
Hey, Derek. I just don't believe what I'm seeing right now. 2 balls over Soto's head, and two of them were on the last strike. How do we miss the chance to keep it tied? It's 4 times that we're at 1 strike away from ending the inning, and then somehow we can't get out of it.
We just talked about the Soto thing, so I'll skip on that for now. But, that's baseball. Things can change really quickly, and rallies can come from almost out of nowhere, and they can happen fast. We've seen that. The Yankees, though, don't do that very often. But we did see them, when they have one of those rallies, it can be absurd, like they had against the Brewers earlier this year. So, that's just baseball. Quick word from Anytime Fitness, and then back with a few more voicemails. The summer gets super busy, and getting back on a good fall workout routine needs to be easy for me. With Anytime Fitness being available anytime, anywhere, they make it easy to work on getting stronger and more confident, all within my schedule. It's got to be easy to make that routine happen, and that's why I love Anytime Fitness. With access to 5,000 plus well-equipped gyms open 24/7, this is not your average gym experience. They also provide personalized coaching support, offering the best training, nutrition, and recovery guidance. This includes the Anytime Fitness app, which generates personalized workout plans or workouts programmed by your coach and tracks your daily progress. Get after it. To claim your free Anytime Fitness trial pass, visit AnytimeFitness.com and get yours today. We've also put that link in the description, so check it out for more information and claim that free trial pass at AnytimeFitness.com.
Derek, I'm trying to stay strong as a fan, but they just don't put their best players on the field. They constantly hug their prospects until they're no longer confident in their abilities. They coddle these veterans who can't hit a parked car. Then they don't make improvements to the bullpen when, there was some kind of substantial arms at the deadline. I'm just tired day after day and year after year just seeing the same thing without a different result. It's hard to be, vigilant, to the fan base of a team that they constantly just fail their fan base. And I try to be realistic and know it's not possible to win every game or win the World Series every year. But when they do the absolute bare minimum to fix their glaring issues, it's like they don't want to address things and they just choose to ignore it.
I hear you about the struggle, but I try to maintain perspective that we're still leading in the American League East. I posted a meme yesterday, me before and after the 2024 Yankees season. And it's actually, for those who are listening, it's a picture of Abraham Lincoln before and after the Civil War, just to kind of illustrate how stressful it is this year as a Yankees fan. But even so, still a half game up with 25 to play. So hopefully they can turn it around. It's not too late. Now, this next statement that I make is mathematically possible, but very unlikely. You want to build this lead to 4 games by the time the Orioles come to town, because even if the Orioles sweep you, you'd still be in first place with a little bit of the season left. So I don't know if it's realistic at this point, but it's kind of what I'm hoping for, best case scenario.
This is Juan calling. This loss was a gut punch. I mean, our team, we put together some at-bats, came back just to give up 7 runs and lose. And at this point, the race to first place is going to come down to who wants it the most. And we need to start getting hot as a team. Pitching and offense have to both be on point. Have to both be on point for the rest of the season. So going into the playoffs, if we really want to win.
Yeah, the bullpen needs to get its act together. The offense needs to start hitting with runners in scoring position. We're at a point in the season where the time for screwing around is over. This is a sprint. It is no longer a marathon. You got to sprint out the rest of this month and then as much as you can in October. Run on fumes if you have to. But the Yankees have a chance. They have a chance to win the World Series. But where is the urgency? Where is the urgency to get it done? Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you have a happy Labor Day. Tune in at 6 p.m. for a conversation with Max Goodman. I tell you what, NostraDerek a couple years ago, we hit 400 with the predictions. This year, we've got a batting average somewhere in the Aaron Hicks, Josh Donaldson, Stephen Drew territory, Joey Gallo territory. Prediction for tonight, 7+ strikeouts for Gerrit Cole. If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like and give us a subscribe. It helps other Yankees fans find the channel. We're also on all your favorite podcast platforms and social media. Join the community, have some fun. We're here after every game. This is Pinstripe Territory.